So this is kind of my set bag. I call this a set bag because this is kind of the bag you'll load up with stuff you need on set. So like your filters, batteries, cards, your media, anything like that you'll need on set next to the camera. So like if you can't be next to the cart, like if you're in a house and there's no room for the cart, you can kind of load this up with all that essential stuff and then always have it near camera so you can just grab it. So you're not having to run back out to the cart to grab anything. So I've got a little dumb slate. Don't really use this much anymore because sound always has a smart slate most of the time. But when you're starting out, this is very good to have because a lot of times sound doesn't have a smart slate and sometimes they don't even have their own slate. So it's good to have these as a backup. You can see mine's actually broken. I taped it back. I've had this for a long time. It's good to have. Then I also have a lens wrap, like a big lens wrap. So what I'll use this for, let's say you're like doing a couple shots in a car, you know, and you're gonna be pulling focus in the car, or, you know, if you're second AC and they're at, you know, and the DP says, hey, let's put the 25 on the camera and we'll bring the 35 and the 50. So what you could do is you can take those lenses, put them in here, wrap one up, and then put another one and wrap it up and protect them, and then kind of either put them in your bag or in a backpack, or, you know, whatever you're bringing with you with your run bag with you. So you can kind of have those options so the DP can get multiple shots if they need to. So that, and you don't have to come back. That way you don't have to come back for a lens change or anything. You can just do it right there on the fly. Up here I have a French flag. You don't need this. I haven't used it very often, but it does come in handy in a pinch sometimes. Use this for, you know, if there's a flare on the lens that the DP or whoever doesn't like and you can't quite get it with the eyebrow. What you can do is you kind of clip this on the camera and then you can kind of adjust it away so that it hits the sun and just blocks out the flare if you can't get it with the eyebrow. Because sometimes you can't get every flare with the eyebrow. Or, you know, maybe you're not in a spot where grip can throw up a lenser to block it out. A couple rolls of tape just for, you know, quick mag tags, red for the mag tags, and then some photo black. Again, with the flares, the photo black is good too. If you don't have an eyebrow or you can't find it, you can take this 2-inch photo black and actually put it in front of the matte box. So, and you can watch the monitor, kind of dip it in until you're in frame and then just bring it up and then tape it to the matte box. So then it kind of acts as an eyebrow. Here I've got canned air and a backup canned air. So canned air is great for cleaning filters or blowing dust off a lens. Like I said, you never want to blow this canned air into a sensor, a camera sensor. It can damage the sensor. And any time you use this, even to just blow off a lens, you want to just do a quick, like, away from the lens. So if there's any dirt or dust or something in here clogging, it doesn't shoot out and potentially scratch, you know, the filter or the lens. So just give it a little before you do it. Another cool trick. I didn't mention this with marks, but you should get chalk, like a little white chalk. A lot of second ACs have that. I don't have that because I'm a first AC. I don't really set marks that much. But a trick for that is if you have some chalk mark on the street, you can take this, flip it upside down, and spray the chalk. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to ruin this, but you can spray the chalk and then with your foot rub the chalk will go away, and then that way if it's been seen on camera then you can just get rid of it real quick. Nice little trick. I think I have a bunch of chamois. Oh, and a mask, COVID times. I have these little eyepiece chamois. I have a bunch of them in here. I have a bunch of different like styles and colors. I mostly have big or large round because I mostly shoot with Alexas and that's the size that they use. But these are for the operators when they're operating handheld with the viewfinder, the eyepiece. And so it's sanitary because you don't want to just put your eye up all day, multiple days with the rubber. It's gross. You know, other people have used it because it's a rented camera. So each operator gets their own chamois. So sometimes, you know, you may have a new operator come in on that same camera. So what you'll do is you'll take this off the camera and then put a fresh one on. You don't have to change them every day. Like if you have the same operator, like, and you're doing like a long, you know, show or something, just change it like once a week or every few days. If it gets really dirty and gross, then you know, you can change it. This is another expendable that get production to buy. So Cappets, these are great for rain. So if it's, you know, you always want to make sure you check the forecast. In LA, it doesn't rain that much, but you do get blindsided by it. You'll wake up and you're like, oh, it's raining. So these are great. They're just little, they're kind of like giant shower caps. The large ones or the mediums are very big. They're enough to cover the whole camera. And the great thing about them is you can still use touchscreen with them. Like the plastic will allow you to use touchscreen, which is great. But then what you do is you wrap it all the way around the camera, even the whole, the lens, the matte box, and then you take this rubber band, you wrap it around the matte box. So you want to just kind of like around the matte box, and then you get your scissors and you cut out a hole so then the lens can see through, but then the rest of the camera is covered from the rain. Or, you know, if you're doing rain tower, like if there's a rain tower or, you know, someone's, you know, got a hose trying to make, you know, rain in the shot or whatever, you definitely want the camera to be covered. So, and get production by these expendable. I've got a power bank, recharge my phone. It's very important to have your phone charged. But I also use this on my cart. I have a little LED light on my cart, and in another video, I'm gonna do a cart video and I'll show you my stuff that I have for that. I have this little Pelican with BNC barrels, little T barrels, barrel, and then some 90 degrees. These are good if you have a BNC in like an awkward angle, good to have. And then the barrels for like extending your BNC run, connecting two BNCs together. Got a power strip for plugging in all of our batteries, because there's like camera batteries, handset batteries, you know, maybe some other, you know, particular monitor batteries or whatever. And then I also have this little headlamp. This is good for, you know, doing a night job, you're walking around. You can use this so you can see. All right, we'll go on to the main part of the bag. I'll just pull some stuff out. I have some cans, so I'm like, if you're in like doing like a concert or something like that. That's where I got these on a job from a concert. So it was so loud, we were double earplugging. So we had earplugs and we had these, because you definitely want to protect your hearing, because once it goes, it's gone. And I already have slight tinnitus. Got some hand sanitizer. I have my own lanyard for my hand unit, my focus unit. It's just cool to have, you know, it's fun to have your own little custom, you know, lanyard for it. It's fun. It's like a 70s retro kind of style. I've got a bag with a bunch of just backup cables. Got some BNCs, like a little shorty BNC, some little HDMIs, some other BNCs that are a little bit longer for monitors. I have the P-tap power for my focus monitor in case I need to like throw it on the camera for whatever reason. Have a P-tap splitter. These are good to have because if you're adding an accessory and you're out of power ports on your camera, it's good to have. You know, the rental houses will have these, but sometimes, you know, you may like need to add something you didn't know about or anticipated. So it's good to have. There's some cheaper ones on. I would definitely get one of these. I have a little ultralight arm that I use. You don't have to buy these. I mean, again, you can get these from a rental house. I just have it for just in case. I've got a Noga arm here for my focus monitor. So like I said, if I had to throw it on the camera body itself for whatever reason, like if we're on a dolly and I can sit on the dolly, and if we have like a manual follow focus, I can throw it on here. I've got my focus monitor. So here I personally use the TV Logic. I like their peaking better for focus. And also this 7-inch is the Mark II, and it's a high bright. It's very bright. It's even brighter than the small HD 703s. It's good to have because I run it on every job that I do, and it's the extra money in my pocket. So if you guys are interested in, you know, like crew gear and like what to buy, what not to buy, that you can rent on jobs, let me know in the comments below, and I'll do a video on like crew gear and stuff, because I have some other monitors and stuff as well that I rent on a lot of jobs, so I can talk about that. I have a baby pin. I use this for my monitor, my focus monitor. I put it on the bottom, and I put it in a C stand, so I can you know, don't have to hold them on or anything, so I just put it on there. But then you can use this. Sometimes you'll need this to go on the camera for whatever, because they might need to, if you know, grip has run out of them or maybe they don't have one. It's a baby pin with a 1/4-20, so you can put it on the top handle if you need to like secure the camera in some way, or you know, sometimes maybe just even use it as a handle, like if you're, you know, operating low or whatever. I have a little like kind of like a jeweler's kind of kit. I don't know. It's just, or I think I'm going to be upgrading to like an iFixit kit, but it just has like the different types of smaller tools like flatheads, Phillips, and whatnot. So I use, you know, sometimes some of the camera accessories, you need to get into them. Like I know like Micro Forces, sometimes you have to like open them up to fix the drift in them, or, you know, just some of the body accessories have the tiny screws on them. You know, definitely want that. Here's a statler that I have in here with some Velcro so I can stick it to my monitor. Kim wipes for cleaning the lens, and then use the Pancro. So the Pancro, and then a lot of times you don't want to like spray the lens directly, so you'll just kind of take one of these, fold it up a little bit, and then just do a couple squirts, and then you can kind of clean the lens or the filter or whatever you need to clean. Then I have a flashlight. I use this more for like night jobs and stuff because I don't really like wearing the headlamp. At the top here, I have my surveillance, my walkie surveillance. So I would highly recommend, you know, buying one of these if you can. There's some decent ones on Amazon. The cheaper they are, the easier they break. I've had this one for a little while, but then definitely get the molded earpiece, because the ones that it comes with are the ones that just kind of stick in your ear and you can't hear anything other than the walkie. So it's basically like having an earplug in your ear. So you want one of these, and you don't want to borrow them from production. You know, you don't want to have to like worry about giving it back or like, you know, accidentally taking it with you. And they have like that plug earpiece on them, and it's, you know, they sanitize them, but you know, you definitely want to add this to your kit right away. And I have some backup molds, and here's the plug ones that I was talking about. I have some backups left and right. Got a little backup, what is this, CR123a battery for if the DP's light meter stops working because the battery's dead. It does happen. They just show up to set and they're like, my light meter's dead. You just have one of these, pop it in there real quick. Bongos, this whole pouch, these Velcro pouches, this whole pouch is full of bongos. You will lose these constantly. These are another expendable you can get production to buy for you. I mean, these things disappear all the time. So, you know, just make sure you have a whole bunch of them. Like get like 2 bags of them. They're not very expensive. But these are great, you know, if they're good for like cable management, or if you need to like hold something down on the camera, you can like wrap it around, or you can use like 2 of them and like wrap them around and kind of, you know, secure something to the camera or to a battery or whatever you need to do. Another little Noga arm that I have. I never bought. I think it just ended up being mine. I don't know how I got it, so it's mine now. So, and then I have some eye bolts. These are great to have for easy rigs. So if your easy rig has the frog clamp, you screw this to the top handle, and you want to make sure that it's like nodal, like it's in the middle, so the camera's front and back is balanced. So it's good to have backup of these, because sometimes, you know, the rental house might not have them, or they're out of them or something like that. So I have a couple of these. And then I have some of these like cable management things that I bought at Panavision. They can they're just 3D printed, like little screws, and then, you know, little clips where you can just screw it to the body and then kind of put your cables in there. So it's nice and neat. It's not something you need. It's just kind of more of like a, you know, keeping the camera neat and clean. And then here I have a bunch of Sharpies, some pens for paperwork, because you're always doing paperwork. I like the dual tips, you know, if you do need to do some fine writing. And then, you know, just the typical Sharpie for like writing mag tags is mostly what we use these for. For this bag, this is a bag that I got at Panavision. And then Aerie used to make some like these. I'm not sure if they still do. They make some bigger ones, I think. But I got this one because I like the size of it. It's leather on the outside, like cloth on the inside, and it has some Velcro dividers, so you can kind of change it up however you want. And you can buy extra like bags if you want. But this is good for a run bag or a set bag. So you can put your batteries, your filters, you can put a lot in here. You can even put like, you know, like I said, like the lens wrap. You can wrap up a lens or two and stick them in here if they're not real big, like a, you know, Super Speeds or something like that. You know, different companies there's like Burke bags, Panavision makes these, Airy. There's other ones called Canada bags because they make them up in Canada and they're really good. They last a long time. I've had this one for probably going on 5 years or so, and it's still holding up. That's it for the bags. Okay, lastly, for my kit that I use at preps or, you know, wrapping up and we're changing locations or whatever, is this action packer. So this is a camera coffin. So we use this, so you finish prep, the camera's all built, so you don't have to break it all down and then rebuild it on the day, on set the next day. We have these camera coffins, and so you can take the built camera, take the lens off, take any batteries off, take any antennas off of any transmitters, and then kind of make it compact as you can, and then stick it in here. So what we have, oh, I'm storing a space blanket. I actually didn't go over this. So I have space blanket. I usually have 2 of these. We use these for camera covers. So if you're outside or even inside, you know, when you go to lunch, you generally just want to cover the camera so nothing, you know, gets on it or anything like that. Or, you know, you're outside in the desert or in the dust. So you know, when you're at lunch, you cover the camera. And then I use those spring clamps, like I said, to kind of wrap around and just kind of pinch it. So you definitely want one of these. And then in here for putting the camera, I have a sound blanket. But then I have some foam in here. You can see that I have some foam. You don't need the foam. For a long time, I was just using a sound blanket. This is a pretty cheap one. I should probably get a better one. But you just take it, put it over like that, push it down, and then you take your built camera without the lens and batteries, put it in here, and then kind of nicely, you know, stuff the sound blanket in so it's nice and safe. And then cover it up. And now all you have to do on set the next day is pull it out and you're ready to go. So that's kind of it for my kit. I'm gonna do another video on my camera cart. Check it out. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time. Going off walkie.